Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Get to Know with Kit and Joe. My name is Kit Avanzato, and today with me I have Dr. Ted Wendel, and Dr. Wendel is Senior Vice President of Planning and Strategic Initiatives. So welcome, Dr. Wendel.
Hey, it's great to be here, Kit.
Excellent, excellent. So I guess before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of your responsibilities and your role here at ATSU, let's talk a little bit about your history, I guess where you came from, your education, etc.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Philadelphia. Went to school in North Carolina. Started out undergraduate school at a place called St. Andrews College in Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Okay.
Which is, pretty far out in the country. I got the chance to go to graduate school at Wake Forest, so I consider myself a demon deacon. Got a doctorate in pharmacology. Learned about neuropharmacology and psychopharmacology, did medical research for quite a few years, on the faculty at Wake Forest, taught medical students there. Some of my friends at Wake Forest wound up in a place called Kirksville, Missouri. And actually my best friend in graduate school, Dr. Orrin Beatty, came to Kirksville, and he was on the physiology faculty, and he called me one day and said, they need a pharmacologist, and why don't you come up here to Kirksville? And I did, and was on the faculty here for 8 years. And I have a daughter who grew up here in Kirksville. I have an ex-wife who's here in Kirksville. But this is one of the places that I think about when I think about home.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's great. And let's just kind of parlay that into talking a little bit about your responsibility here at the school. So you mentioned Kirksville and how it's your second home. So let's talk about what your role here is at ATSU and what some of your responsibilities are.
It's my job to sort of monitor and track our progress on our strategic plan, to make sure that we're actually, doing what we think we're doing and moving ahead.
Yeah, that's an important process, and I think it's something that a lot of the staff, employees, and even students here at HSU kind of don't have, not much of an idea about, but it's just kind of that gray area. So in the background, you guys actually do a lot in terms of the forward progress of the university. So I guess, who else is under your umbrella in terms of your leadership responsibilities? So who falls under Dr. Wendel?
If I work with the president's staff, mostly the vice presidents. They don't report to me, they report to the president, but we work as a team and a group. I work pretty closely with Gary Cloud, because Gary's involved with some strategic initiatives that are important to our success in the future. It worries me a little that people don't know a lot more about the strategic plan. We've done a lot to try to publish it, but we've got these 6 strategic initiatives that revolve around innovation and partnership and diversity. And I think in some ways people know about them, but they might not recognize them as part of the plan. So, my job in some ways is to make sure people know what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and just in my short time here at the university, I've been here about 2 years. When I first started, I didn't know too much about it, but as you kind of get more ingrained, and I've actually seen the progress that we've made in terms of notifying everyone about the strategic initiative and about our goals. So just in that short time frame for myself, I've noticed a pretty stark difference. So that's great, So
I get this lens that has, this will be my 19th year at ATSU. And I rejoined the university back in 1998 with Dr. Phelps and Gary Cloud out in Phoenix, and we put together a plan back then that really, it was before we were in Mesa, and it involved growing the programs there and creating a firm base for a campus out there. And we got really lucky. We were able to buy some land and build some buildings, and now, we're pretty proud of that campus. So, the idea that we've made progress, when you look at it over 20 years, we've made an incredible amount of progress.
Absolutely.
And I think what we've done is really a benefit to the whole institution.
Let me ask you, what's your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about working for ETSU? What do you like? What do you enjoy seeing the most?
Well, this sounds kind of trite, but it's the people. I
Yeah.
love the people I work with, and from the president through everybody that I get to work with on a daily basis, they're just really special people. We've got common goals, we've got some common understandings, but there's a diversity and just an excitement that is always there, and that's kind of fun. And then we've got kind of a lighthearted mood, I think, at times.
Yeah.
We joke around, we have fun. It's not a negative kind of fun, but people enjoy being around each other, having fun with each other, and doing good work. So you don't find that in a lot of places. There are lots of universities where people don't get along, where they hole up behind closed doors. I love working in a place where that's not the case.
Absolutely, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. But let's drill down a little bit more into Dr. Wendel and what you're all about. So, what are some of your favorite things to do, like hobbies, etc.? What do you like to do?
Well, I've got this second career thing where I'm a photojournalist.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that takes up most of my spare time. There's a little golf out there, not much anymore. It takes up a lot of time that I don't have.
Right.
So most of the time, if I'm not working or traveling to work, I'm trying to develop a reputation and a career, actually, as a photojournalist. And that's kind of fun because it gets me, I've been able to travel around the world. I've been able to meet different people in a lot of different places. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. So that's kind of the hobby.
I guess going back to the university, do you have anything exciting to share that's coming up, that's coming down the pike? Is there any one little tidbit of news that you'd really like to get out there and let the people know?
Well, I think that's, we kind of look ahead at what's coming along for the future in healthcare. And we talk to a lot of people at a lot of different venues, and certainly mental health is the opportunity and almost the obligation, because it's a big problem in our society. It's an opportunity for ATSU to make a contribution of well-trained health professionals, and those people will be in demand and will find great careers now over the next 20 to 30 years. So I'm pretty excited about mental health and the types of people that we may train and the way we might add to our existing professionals with some mental health curricula. So that would be my, it's probably not an announcement. There's some discussion in the strategic plan, but that's what I'm excited about at this moment for the university.
Absolutely. It's great. Well, Dr. Wendel, thanks again for joining us. I appreciate it. And that wraps up another segment of Get to Know with Kit and Joe. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Kit.